Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I know this is not really my normal setting. I know you guys have seen me in this location before. It's the weekend. I'm at home on a rainy day and I got some goodies this week that I was going to start putting on my gun. And I realized we get a lot of questions when it comes to the mounting solutions for suppressors. So while I was doing this to my own stuff, I figured I'd bring you guys along for the ride. So what I've got here is I do have one of my suppressors. This is my 09, or I'm sorry, my 036. I have my 036 here. I have it direct threaded onto one of my guns, and a lot of people are just kind of curious of different mounting solutions. So I am changing the direct thread to one of our new B-dapters so that I can put a Plan B muzzle device on here. A little bit of a heads up. Depending on when you're watching this, it is now middle of February 2026, and we do have the B-dapter available on our website, ready to go now for your ZEROED suppressors. The nice thing about this is there's a lot of support for Plan B muzzle devices already out there, so if you really want a QD option for your ZEROED suppressor, I would highly recommend looking at getting one of these, which I did. I've already got some Plan B stuff. And when it comes to our muzzle devices themselves, last I heard, we're looking at that Q2 rollout on all of our firearms and available for purchase separately. But when it comes to the mounting solutions, this is, the ZEROED suppressors, when it comes to the centerfire cans, they all come with direct thread adapters. So you see me sitting there unthreading this. What I've done here is I've taken the muzzle device off of this gun, and I've simply just taken the appropriate thread pitch adapter, in this case a 1/2-28, and I have it on the 036K, and I can simply just take and thread it directly onto the end of the gun. Now, as far as when it comes to installation, these do not have to be super tight. Once you've got it where it stops, just give it a little snug and you're going to be good to go. But since it is direct thread, when you're using it throughout the day or however long you're using it, just double check it on occasion to make sure it is still good and snug. But one of the things that I want to do here today is I want to take the direct thread adapter off, and I'm going to put a B-dapter on here. And I have another gun that I already have a B-dapter on, or I'm sorry, I already have another gun that I have a Plan B muzzle device on, and I can show you how easy this works. But as far as removing the direct thread adapter, it's pretty easy. If you remember, we do have a 3/8 inch drive socket on this end. So all you have to do is just get your 3/8 drive socket there. Depending on what size wrenches you have, I just grabbed an adjustable wrench, and then I can sit here and take this off. And once I have the direct thread adapter off, I can set that aside, and I can simply put the B-dapter on. Sorry, I keep saying B-dapter because B-dapter, adapter, but it's for Plan B, so it's the B-dapter, or just my play on words. So I'm kind of hoping it takes off. It's our B-dapter. I'm going to set this where I tighten it. I'm going to open this bad boy up so that I can get a good wrench on it, and we are going to snug this up. It doesn't have to be super torqued, as long as it's going to be tighter than what your hand is going to put on the muzzle device with. So I'm going to set this aside for just a second because I just took the direct thread off of this gun. Going to grab a different gun here real quick, and I'm going to show you, what it looks like to have a Plan B muzzle device already on your gun. So you can see here, I've already got a Plan B muzzle device on here, and now I can simply take and thread the ZEROED suppressor with the B-dapter on. And once it gets down, the nice thing about this is, again, it's just snugged. It is now on there, but this is going to allow me to be able to have more of a quick disconnect and use it on multiple firearms. So I can put more Plan B muzzle devices on other guns, and this is just going to be able to hop right on and off. The one reason why it's going to be easy to take on and off, I hinted at this previously. I'm not sure how well you can see it, but there is a bit of a taper right here behind the actual porting on whatever muzzle device you get. And that actually mates up with a taper inside the B-dapter. And so as you thread this on, those two angles actually seal up against each other. And that is on the dirty side of the threads. So what you traditionally got whenever you're using direct threads or some other options is you just got a lot of, unburnt powder, carbon buildup, just dirt and grime that typically comes out of the end of a muzzle device. That got caked into the threads, and you could get your direct thread, muzzle device or other types of quick detach, they tend to get a little bit stuck. So the Plan B option is a great option. So like I said, this is pretty simple. This just takes and starts to thread on, and apparently I'm not holding my mouth right or something right now because it was not going on. There we go. I'm trying to hold stuff in front of the camera instead of doing it like I normally would. But that's snugged up, and that is good to go. Now, one of the other reasons why I kind of like the Plan B stuff, and I would actually probably have to speak with our engineers as to reasoning behind it. I'm gonna grab another gun here real quick, because this is another mounting option. And the nice thing about this is with our ZEROED suppressors, since this end up here is compatible with standard 1.375 hub, you can do whatever quick disconnect you would like on it. And there are a ton of great options out there. So on a previous suppressor for me, I had the Dead Air Chemo, and this is a great option too. It actually has it kind of unlocks, and then you have to align it. There's actually a spot on the suppressor and on the muzzle device. You actually have to take and lock it, line it up, and then once you have it snugged down, you're good to go. That's not going to go anywhere. So that's a great quick disconnect option also. And when you look at it, you still have a taper in front of the locking mechanism. So this is a nice clean option also. But one of the things about this, it's kind of a pro and a con, depending on how you look at it. I actually have both options sitting right here in front of me. So when you look at these two options, this is, in this case, a key micro. So this is one of their smaller brakes. And you can actually see there's a little bit, well, I guess it's all the way around. You'll find the indexing point, in this case, the port's on top. And then on the quick disconnect, you're going to find a little bit of a groove right here. So you're going to line that up on top. This is going to go in, and then it's going to end up twisting and locking into place. And as you can see, here's where the muzzle device is. But the threads are all the way out here. And right here where my thumb is actually where it is flush with the rear of the receiver. Well, if you compare that to something in a Plan B, you still have the muzzle device stopping at the same point on the barrel. It's still roughly the same point in the front. I think on the Key Micro, it's actually still a longer break. But as you thread this in, this is, you see, if you kind of line these two up right here, whereas if this is flush with the end of the muzzle or the end of the barrel, you can see right here is where the suppressor starts. And in this case, right here is where the suppressor starts. So you're gonna gain or lose, however you might look at it, about an inch of distance sticking out the end of your gun. So if you want a shorter, more compact option, the Plan B stuff is a great option. But you also have to stop and think that the added length you have is a little bit more room for gases, so it might be a little bit quieter. So it's just kind of a trade-off for you to think about which one of these you would like. And I'm gonna just show you this, here on this suppressor. So you can easily see, I'm actually just gonna, things are rattling. I'm gonna take that muzzle device out because there's no need to it. But you'll see, you actually have from here to here is the difference between end of the suppressor and where it's going to be attached to the end of your barrel. And then if you remove that, you're going to be able to see, you know, with a Plan B, especially since it's basically just a direct thread adapter, but it's just bigger and has tapers for Plan B. Take a look at this. I mean, this is so much shorter. I mean, you're setting these side by side where they would be mated up on the suppressor. Look at that difference on length. So, I mean, that's just another thing to think about. But like I said, all of these are great choices. I mean, direct thread solid, especially if you're going to be doing a suppressor that's its sole purpose. You know, you have a 300 blackout, you put a 030 on it, and it plans on living nowhere else. Man, just go direct thread. It's a great option. If you have a couple other guns you might want to switch it between, you know, I would really consider looking at our B-dapter on one of our ZEROED suppressors, because that's going to allow you to have a pretty quick disconnect, a solid gas system, and be able to change it between a few different suppressors. You know, but again, if you already have a bit of infrastructure in the suppressor world, you can always buy different hubs. So it's really researching, see which one you like the most, which one might lend itself to your platforms best. A lot of great options, but I'm going to say I'm really fond of the Plan B stuff. So now I have this Plan B on here. I have more Plan B stuff to go on the other things. So now I can just take and I can put this on either of the firearms that have it. I can take and put this on either firearm. It's just a world of options for you to choose from, but I hope you choose a ZEROED suppressor, our B-dapter, and our soon to come muzzle devices. So I don't know. Thanks for joining me today on my day off. I was just having some fun here and figured I'd bring you guys along. So guys, thanks for tuning in. And as always, stay safe out there.